2025 wasn't a very good year for the horror genre. There was that DI train wreck of a film, Sinners, which did pretty poorly at the awards from what I've heard. And then there's the woke feminist project, Weapons. When I heard that title, I thought we were in for some NRA endorsed goodness. Unfortunately, it's just a woke movie about strange disappearances. Who cares about kids when guns are on the table? What makes it even better is that Pedro Pascal was originally cast in this role, so Josh Brolin getting the part is a win for the straight white male American man.
Yes! More of that, please. More of that, my girl.
Weapons revolves around a small town where 17 children suddenly leave their houses in the middle of the night and the efforts of several characters to find them. As the mystery unravels, it reveals a darker and supernatural hand at play. The kids run away in a specific way and it looks kind of familiar. The plot sounds like something straight out of Pennywise's playbook, meaning it's not very original. The story requires narration, so of course a little girl gets the job.
So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school.
'Cause females like to yap. The film is broken down into sections focusing on different characters, but somehow Justine hacks into every one of them. She's the teacher of the class that all the missing kids belong to, so she undergoes harassment from frustrated parents. She deals with a boy crying and drinking, and it points out the film's biggest problem. If they'd had a straight white male protagonist instead, he would have just sucked it up. We don't drink to drown our problems. We drink because we're men. Justine can't ignore her programming and does what every white woman does during a tragedy. Investigate. She's advised to stay away from the kid pending the investigation, so of course she follows the kid home. Because when women step out of the trad wife role, they become stubborn. She bangs Paul, the cop, and then grills him for info on the case, which was what she was actually after. Can you imagine just using someone for sex? Oh, the humanity. Paul already has enough to deal with since the snowflake movement wants to nail him for police brutality or something. In my day, when a copper smacked you upside the head, you said, "Thank you, constable, it won't happen again." It also doesn't make sense why he's banging Justine. I mean, she's got good genes, but Donna is, shall we say, a more well-rounded candidate. The affair results in the two women getting into a fight, because the film wants us to believe there's such a thing as white-on-white crime. The only way this could possibly be more white woman if she spilled rosé on her. The movie is full of DI politics catering to the agenda. And if it wasn't clear the filmmakers hate everything white, they literally peeled Paul's glorious Caucasian skin off. Justine is chastised for driving a student home, but when a black teacher tries to do the same thing, no one bats an eye.
You miss your ride, son?
I'm okay.
Because snowflakes always want special treatment for minorities like
the blacks
and
the Latinos.
Notice how useless the black store owner is, and the white man has to come to the rescue.
Help me! Please!
Because that's the result of DI. And of course the principal is a minority, because Brie Larson loves it when minorities can boss around white subordinates. He also serves as another jab at the straight white male. Notice how he starts acting like a rubber animal when his eyes are opened wider. And because there's more boxes to tick off, oh look, he's got a husband. An obvious effort to cater to the LGBTQ up, down, left, right, start, select community.
Yes.
Because they're two gay men, they don't stand a chance against a single female. When Gladys works her magic, Marcus hurls up a black fluid, which Shine convinces the gayness leaving his body.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women.
Because the first thing he does is kill a gay man. Marcus himself is killed because he had the misfortune of running into a female driver. The film's way of saying that if a man isn't gay, there's not much use for him anymore in Hollywood. Luckily, the film quickly switches to Archer, the straight white male. He's a man of action who doesn't waste time sitting down and decides to investigate the matter himself. They picked Josh Brolin for the role because he's used to dealing with stubborn women.
Oh, don't go in the bank. Don't go in the bank, Kate. There you go, she's going in the bank.
He even points out what every girl boss does when it's time to get down to business. Playing the victim card.
This whole victim persona that you're taking on, it might have the police.
She leaves Archer to deal with a raving Marcus, once again thoroughly busting the myth of the so-called girl boss.
That's her.
Thanos, on the other hand, is kicking ass all day. Justine saves him in the end, but not without the use of a gun. That proves once again that the girl boss is the stuff of pure fiction. You can tell Archer is a good father because his son's room is covered in sports posters and even a Batman blanket. That's what happens when you've got a dad who doesn't go out for milk. He even has a dream that serves as an NRA endorsement. And yeah, he hardly tells his son he loves him, which is the film's explanation for why Matthew is a bully, but saying that to your son would just emasculate him. We're not raising soy boys here. But of course, Brie Larson will take any chance to stand in a straight white male's way, so Bailey's mom turns into a girl boss and denies him access to the footage. Luckily, he does the smart thing, talk to the man of the house cause he's the boss. Go in the kitchen and make them some sandwiches, Karen. Another straight white male is James, a character that makes no sense. If you're gonna have somebody doing drugs, he needs to be one of
The blacks.
Instead, he looks like a young Jackie Earl Haley. He goes to the pawn shop to sell some gear, and the owner looks like he went to the same Sunday Quran class as Osama bin Laden.
Helicopter, helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter.
He's always polite even when he breaks into a house, and despite Justine's efforts, it's James who finds the kids. Because even a drugged out straight white male can accomplish what a girl boss cannot even without trying. And the cops waste time chasing James instead of going after minorities who are probably up to something. But because he's a straight white male, he cooperates with the police and gets the ball rolling. Because that's what happens when you just comply. But because Brie Larson demanded revenge for George Floyd or something, James has to die. And then there's the main villain, Gladys. She looks like someone threw Pennywise, Chucky, Akuma's beads, and 3 pints of estrogen into a blender. She's the culmination of what happens if the pink-haired landmals and soy boys of today are allowed to keep dressing in the ridiculous way they do.
It's a peculiarity of mine. I don't even try to rationalize it anymore.
Justine and Archer join forces to solve the case, which she was doing fine without her, but Hollywood always has to inject the female character at all costs, which turns out to be the cause of the entire ordeal, because this whole mess started when Alex's parents allowed Gladys into their house. Alex is another straight white male character. He's just a wee lad, but proves that at any age, the male characters will outperform even the most seasoned female. Something felt off about Alex's father. He drops off his son from school and picks him up, which makes you wonder, what was the mother doing? Probably drinking rosé at a restaurant listening to girl boss podcasts. With his father domesticated, Alex becomes the man of the house. He takes care of his parents, takes care of the kids, and worst of all, he's forced to clean the house, which is supposed to be a woman's job. But judging from the living room, his mother isn't too good at that either. Gladys is able to control others through the use of voodoo. She probably took a middle-aged white woman trip to some Caribbean island to get her groove back. She then appropriated black culture and used spells to suck the life force out of poor, innocent children. And contrary to the Padawans in the Acolyte, most of these kids have good genes. The only reason these kids were targeted was so the white demographic would take a sharp decline, leaving future generations riddled with minorities. We're reminded that a little bit of bullying is a good thing. Alex is toughened up and even takes the time for some Home Alone shenanigans with his parents.
Here's Johnny.
Thanks to his newfound manlyhood, Alex concocts a plan to destroy Gladys by assembling all the Avengers.
Avengers!
Assemble.
There was no one else who could have solved the problem. Not the police, because they're defunded, not the other citizens, because their efforts are led by females, and not the other straight white male adults, because the movie's always trying to kill them. But Boozer, you champion of the clan Caucasian. The kids tore Gladys to pieces. Surely it's an event that will leave them traumatized for some time. To that I say, nah, I'll be fine. Last call before I close up for the night. Weapons had the potential to be a compelling story, showcasing the struggles between good and evil, both mental and physical. But because there are too many females and minorities, it feels like a watered down beverage, a fistfight swapped out for a slapping match. More male protagonists would have made the whole thing more enticing, and a male villain wouldn't have been that easy to take out. Unfortunately, woke Hollywood got their hands on the script and altered it for modern audiences. You know what? I'm just gonna go watch Predator again. Predator. No Landwells could touch your script. Alright, story's over. Get out.